This movie does not waste a second. I expected brutal action from Sisu Road to Revenge. I did not expect it to be this savage. By the end of this video, you will know if this is the most brutal revenge film in years, or just pure shock value. Let's talk about it. There's one moment in this movie, no spoilers, that genuinely made me pause and say, they just went there. And I will explain exactly why when we get to it. If you're new here, I do not overhype action movies. If it earns the brutality, I give it credit. If not, I call it out. I'm Chuy. Let's break down Sisu, Road to Revenge. Here, a man returns to dismantle his family's house, where they were murdered in the war, to rebuild it somewhere else. When the killer, a Red Army commander, tracks him down, a brutal cross-country pursuit begins. Sisu, Road to Revenge was written and directed by Jamari Helander. Can you believe this is only his fourth feature film? Talk about getting good at making movies quick. I had no idea that this movie is a sequel to a movie that came out back in 2022, just titled Sisu. And this one was also written and directed by the same director, Jamari. This guy knows how to direct and how to write a good script. I actually noticed that the first movie was on sale, so I bought it right before seeing the sequel. And guys, you need to see the first movie because it's batshit crazy. And this sequel goes twice as hard. And if you agree, maybe please subscribe. And if not, let me know why not in the comments below. As mentioned in my previous reviews, I love my gory movies. It makes it a great experience when the movie is not just gore and shock value. It makes it a better experience when it's a full package. For example, likable characters, great story, and then the gore and crazy ass scenes are just a cherry on top. I get John Wick and nobody movie vibes here. The action scenes are well executed and there's plenty of blood to go around. But compared to John Wick, the scenes here are not as stylized. Don't get me wrong though, I love all of the John Wick movies. Just like the action here, it feels somehow more raw. And trust me, it will make sense once you see the movie. But for now, let me go over everything that I liked about this movie. Off the bat, let me tell you, this movie goes full throttle in every aspect. This sequel goes twice as hard and everything is bigger in scale. There's absolutely no shortage in gore, revenge, and violence. This is about a man who wants to simply move forward and go on in life, but is pulled back into his ways. And now he wants to get revenge on the killer that killed his family. And the road getting there was simply glorious. The main character, Atami, is played by Jorma Domila, and this guy was phenomenal in this role. The actor is 65 years old. 65, man. And when you see this movie, you will understand my reaction, because holy props to him for delivering such a good performance. This main character is nicknamed the Immortal, mainly because he's able to survive and get out of crazy ass situations or impossible situations. And let me tell you, this guy is put through some heavy shit. And I really enjoy seeing him get out of every situation. This Immortal guy is truly clever. You can sense and see his distraught, his loss, his crave to moving forward, all for the sake of family and for his dog. And yes, there is a dog here. And every single time he was on screen, I was on the edge of my seat thinking nothing better happened to this damn dog. Because if you saw part 1, then you know anything can happen. And you will have to see this movie to know if anything happened to this dog or not. And the killer. The killer here is a Soviet Red Army officer. And he is played by Stephen Lang. Initially when I saw the trailer, I was going to see it just for him. But after seeing the first movie, I then told myself, I know for a fact it's going to be a great time with these two together. And they did not disappoint at all. Every scene with the killer was just on point. He is truly relentless, and there was one scene in particular that made me kind of cheer for him. This is great storytelling because you know they got you when you catch yourself cheering for the antagonist. This movie is not just only pure shock value. It's truly savage, and I had a great time throughout. The kill scenes here are just crazy as hell. They were all well thought out and to some extent pretty smart for this type of movie. I walked out of the movie theater and a lot of those crazy moments really stuck into my mind. I would definitely see this movie again in theater, and you will be satisfied with all the kills here. Personally, the script for me is smooth like butter. Seeing this sequel after seeing the first movie back to back made it feel like home. The way it starts, to the chapters. Oh yeah, this movie is actually split into chapters. And it's not a long movie, it's about an hour and 30 minutes. And every second is spent well and utilized well. Nothing is wasted. And the best part of this smooth like butter plot is that you do not have to watch the first one to make sense of part 2. Because one simple conversation gets you up to date. This one conversation lets you, the viewer, know that the immortal is a force to be reckoned with. It tells you he is focused and he does not hold back at all. And then after this conversation, you are put through the movie right away. Quick and straight to the point. This director though, I gotta talk about him really quickly. I'm still shocked to know that this is only his 4th feature film. This guy is truly a genius. The way he directs, the way he writes his story, the way he writes his action scenes, and everything combined together is just pure genius. There was a particular plane scene here that added some true suspense and I was thinking, damn, I feel like I'm in a ride. Hell, there's even one scene in particular by the beginning that was beautifully shot. And it made you feel some sort of way towards the main character. And it happened again in the end. The way it was filmed, it made you feel really bad for him and it made you understand how broken this guy really is. This director is definitely going places. I need to watch his first 2 movies ASAP. And for those that like comedy, this movie actually has some of that as well. Which I don't remember part 1 having that much comedy, but regardless, some scenes are pretty funny here. There was one particular scene that cracked me up. When the killer's driving and there's so many bodies being thrown at him and all the blood is being splattered on the windshield and he's just trying to clean it over and over again. To me that was pretty hilarious. It was also entertaining and I wish we got more and more. But the movie length is pretty perfect. I'd rather have it be the way it is than overextend its welcome. There was a particular scene that made me pause and think, this movie's more than what it seems. They went there. There are layers to this movie, and that one scene in particular by the end really hit it on the nail for me. I said no spoilers, but it's amazing how someone will go so far to leave the past behind, or to do anything to be reminded of their true loved ones, or simply try to move on. This world has so much hate, and the last scene really did a number on me, and it was a great send-off. It really brings you down to earth and it reminds us that we can do anything together, that we are better as one. But for now, let me go over everything I didn't like about this movie. And as much as I love this one in particular, there was only one thing that made me think, well, what's the point of this? The scenes regarding the tank and it flips over. When it was all said and done, yeah, it looked nice, but for me, it felt somewhat unnecessary. But other than that one thing, I loved it all. So, in conclusion, if you like gore, plot that's smooth like butter, crazy ass scenes that stick with you even after you leave the theater, and if you want a simple, great, amazing time, then this movie is for you. This is a great action-packed movie with some heartfelt moments as well. This is definitely one of the most savage and brutal films out there so far this year and overall, and this is a must in theater or on the biggest screen possible. Well, this all leads me to my rating for this film. As much as I want to give it a 5, I have to be honest, and for me, it's a 4.9 out of 5. This is the true cinematic experience in theater. And if you're like me and if you like to purchase your movies and get it in 4K or in VOD, which is video on demand for your digital collection. Well, thank you for your time today, my cinematic family. Please hit that subscribe button, maybe the like button if you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on Sisu Road to Revenge if you've seen it or if you plan on seeing it. I am Chuy, and this is Chuy Cinematic Talk. Take care, I'll see you next time.